Hello everyone and welcome to what I believe is the most important video I have ever created in my life. Now the title of this video is How I Made Over $20,000 Selling Dance NFTs. Now to be completely honest, this isn't the main topic of the video. I just wanted to grab your attention and I wanted to pull in as many people as possible, especially dancers, to watch this video. And the real title of this video is actually information about blockchain technology, Bitcoin, Ethereum, NFTs, and the future of dance. But I know that if I put a title like that, maybe people wouldn't be as interested. So I put the title, How Much Money I've Made This Year from selling dance NFTs, and maybe people will be curious to find out more, as we are, in our current society, monetizing dance is still very difficult. So yes, in this video, I'm going to be telling you everything I've learned this year about cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, and NFTs. I've been in cryptocurrency since January this year, 2021, and I've been in NFTs since February this year, 2021. And it's just been absolutely incredible. I am so passionate about this space and this industry that I'm currently heavily involved in. I've been a huge gamer all my life, and I've been an artist all my life, and I've always been quite tech savvy, and I feel like I'm really combining all my passions by being in this space. Now, I've tried to film this video many times before already, and there is no quick way to explain this. Like, all the information I'm going to give today, there is no really quick way. I expect this video to be quite long because I'm going to be breaking down a lot of different things, but my goal with this video is to educate anyone out there who has no idea about cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, NFTs, and really give them like a crash course. This video is probably going to be like half an hour to an hour, maybe even more, I don't know. But by the end of this video, you will know enough information to maybe want to find out more and want to do your own research. Before we get started, I'm going to say that I'm going to throw a lot of information at you today, and even if you watch this video 5 times and you still don't understand, that's totally okay. I still don't understand some things after 11 months being in this space 24/7. So take your time, and I'll try explain things as simply as possible, like the tip of the iceberg, but I'll do my best. So I'm going to be breaking down for you today what Bitcoin is, how blockchain technology works, what Ethereum is, how Ethereum works in NFTs and smart contracts and that blockchain. And then we'll look at a few examples of NFTs and why this is not only the future of dance, not only the future of art, not only the future of performing arts, but the future of our world. I truly believe it. Let's get to it. So again, before we do get to it, I want to say, I didn't just want to explain like how I made money selling dance NFTs. I didn't want to explain that, because for you to truly understand what I'm doing with dance NFTs, you have to understand the technology first. And so we're going to go like right to the beginning, and I'm going to like build you up so that you understand what is actually happening and how the technology works. Let's get to it. So welcome to my presentation that I've made for this video. We're going to start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency that uses blockchain technology and was created by anonymous creator Satoshi Nakamoto. So you've probably heard of Bitcoin, but I bet you didn't know that we still don't know who the creator is. Yes, it's true. We don't know if it's a single person or a group of people. The blockchain is decentralized, immutable, and is a public distributed ledger. Now, these are keywords that we're going to focus on here that will make you understand more about Bitcoin and the technology: decentralized, immutable, and public distributed ledger. So we're going to go into that right now. It will make a bit more sense, kinda. Now, in this video, I'm going to be explaining a lot of concepts like decentralization and immutable that is quite alien to us because it's hard to compare to something else. So don't worry if you're confused by what I'm about to explain. So decentralized means no central authoritative figure owns or controls it. It's completely peer-to-peer. So no one owns Bitcoin, no one controls Bitcoin, and no one owns the Bitcoin network, which is the blockchain. No one owns or controls it. How can they not own or control it? Because it's immutable. It cannot be edited, removed, or changed. So with blockchain technology, the technology allows it so that once something is put on the blockchain, it can never be edited, removed, or changed by anyone, because no central authority has the power to do so. It's written in the code of Bitcoin. Now, the blockchain is a distributed ledger, which is synchronized data available to all. What this means is that I can see the Bitcoin blockchain. I can see all the transactions that are happening every second, every day. It's equivalent to, imagine your bank had a public ledger that you can see every transaction happening every second. Imagine you can see what account goes to what account. Now, you might think this is scary, but it's actually not, because you can still remain completely anonymous. Your Bitcoin address, which is what you send your Bitcoin to and from, is anonymous. It's a string of letters and words, and it's not tied to your real identity. I can go into the Bitcoin blockchain and I can see X address transferred 1 Bitcoin to X address, but I don't know who it is. I can just see the address and I can just see how much they transferred. Now, this is very interesting. In your Bitcoin wallet, in your crypto wallet, nobody has access to your Bitcoin. Nobody has access to your funds, only you. Now, why this is different is because when you put money with your bank, you don't actually own that money. You give your money to your bank and they have control over your bank account. They control it. At any given time, they can shut it down. At any given time, they can take out your money, you know, things like that. But with your Bitcoin wallet, which is an online digital wallet, literally only you have access to it. So there have been many horror stories that people will have funds in their Bitcoin wallet, they'll forget the password, and it is impossible. If you forget your password, I mean impossible to hack into it or recover your funds. Impossible. Blockchain technology makes it so that it's literally impossible to hack into a wallet because the technology is so advanced. You cannot hack into a Bitcoin wallet, and you cannot scam a transaction. You cannot change a transaction. I don't want to get into too much detail on that. I'll explain in the next slide, but it's pretty insane. Now, this piece of information, I'm not going to get too deep into because it will get very confusing, but it's important to know that there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. Yes, that's right. It is a limited supply currency. Again, I'm not going to get too deep into this, but let's look at our current financial system where we can infinitely print cash infinitely without, you know, consequences. I mean, the consequences is inflation. I am not too informed about economics and that kind of stuff, but I know that our current financial system creates inflation and Bitcoin is a deflationary asset. Again, I won't get too deep into that because I'm not too knowledgeable in that field. Yeah, let's move forward and I'll explain a little bit more about Bitcoin technology, but here you have a good example of what it means to have a distributed ledger. So, you know, naturally, all our institutions will go to, you know, one authoritative figure, right, that would control the ledger, centralized ledger. And here you have a distributed ledger where it's completely peer-to-peer and there's no central authoritative figure controlling it. Now, in this next slide, everything I just said is probably super confusing. So I'm going to explain how it's possible for something like Bitcoin to be decentralized and for it to work and for it to actually run very well. Okay, so here is the process of how Bitcoin transactions work, right? So Alice wants to buy a product from Bob using Bitcoin. So she wants to send Bob Bitcoin. She uses her private key and signs a message with the amount of Bitcoins and Bob's address, requesting a transaction. So here, when you have a crypto wallet, you have your private key. Now, your private key is essentially your email and password all in one. You never share your private key with anyone. That, with your private key, you can access your funds. So you never share your private key with anyone. But you use your private key to access your funds, right? Now, your public address is what you send someone to send you money. So this is like your email address, right? Just your email address. You send someone your public address, and the only thing they can do is they can send you money. So in this case, Bob will send Alice his Bitcoin public address, and she will copy his Bitcoin public address into her crypto wallet and then import a transaction. Now, here is the technology. She'll send a transaction saying, I want to send 1 Bitcoin to Bob, right? The transaction requested by Alice is bundled into a block with other transactions. So her transaction, along with other transactions in the Bitcoin network, will be bundled into what is called a block. And in the block, there will be the information of all these transactions. Here, the block is broadcast to all mining nodes in the Bitcoin network. Now, again, I don't want to get into too much detail here because it can get confusing. But essentially, this is how it works with decentralization. So I can set up a powerful computer and I can set it so that I help the Bitcoin network run. If someone wants to make a Bitcoin transaction, it has to go through what's called a Bitcoin node. And those Bitcoin nodes are set up voluntarily by people who want to help contribute to the Bitcoin network and allow it to run and validate the transactions. That's pretty simple, right? Now here, the network of nodes validates Alice's transaction using algorithms in a process called mining. So here, what happens is when someone makes a Bitcoin transaction, the nodes in the network will compete to solve that puzzle. There's a puzzle to solve. And the first miner to validate a new block for the blockchain receives a portion of the Bitcoin as a reward. So this is very important. This is why it's called Bitcoin mining. So I've set up a node. Someone makes a transaction. I help validate the node with my powerful computer to allow the Bitcoin network to run. And in exchange, I receive Bitcoin as a reward. But that Bitcoin is new Bitcoin that has been mined and has been put into the circulation within the Bitcoin ecosystem. So as I said before, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins to ever exist. And currently we have mined 19 million Bitcoins. Mining is the process of acquiring new Bitcoins in the ecosystem. Now here, this is what happens. Once the transaction is complete and the miner validates a new block, the transaction is complete and the new block is added to the blockchain. The block is permanent and cannot be modified. Now this is where it gets very interesting. Once a block is complete, it is chained onto the previous block with the previous transactions in that blockchain. Now this is why it's so hard to, not so hard. This is why it's impossible to hack the blockchain, because every block is chained onto the previous block. If you can't change one block because every block contains some information of the previous block. So if you try to change one block, the block next to it will be like, that's not right because I have the what's called the hash. Again, I won't get into that right now, but just to let you know, it's impossible. And here we go. Bob receives his Bitcoins from Alice once the transaction has been executed. That's a little bit about Bitcoin technology. I know it's very confusing. It took me months to understand. I'm still understanding it. Don't worry. Let's move forward. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is another cryptocurrency called Ethereum. This slide is terrible. It's looking really amateur, but just go with it, okay? Allow me. So Ethereum is another cryptocurrency. It is also decentralized, immutable, and a public distributed ledger. Ethereum introduced something called smart contracts and dApps, which stands for Decentralized Apps. It also introduced NFTs. And here, I'm gonna explain this. You can look inside someone's wallet. Now, you can look inside someone's wallet in Bitcoin as well if you have their Bitcoin public address. I just didn't want to show you in the Bitcoin one because I don't own Bitcoin. I don't use the Bitcoin network. But I'm extremely familiar with the Ethereum network. So I'm going to show you how you can look inside someone's wallet. But first, let me explain all of this stuff first. This is where it gets juicy. So first, I'm going to explain what smart contracts and decentralized apps are. So smart contracts are option contract written as code into the blockchain. Contract is part of the public blockchain. Parties involved in the contract are anonymous. Contract executes itself when the conditions are met. Regulators use blockchain to keep an eye on contracts. So to explain smart contracts, I'm going to use this example here. So this is an NFT. This is an NFT called Voxies. And now I'll explain what an NFT exactly is in a second, after I explain a little bit about smart contracts. But this is a digital asset This is an NFT from a game, a blockchain game called Voxies, and I actually have been working for them this year, which has been awesome and a dream come true. But here I'm going to explain how a smart contract works. So here it says current price 0.5 Ethereum, which is $2,100. Now here it says buy now. Now there is a smart contract ingrained in this website, in this asset. And this here, it says, this smart contract, it says when someone pays 0.5 Ethereum into the smart contract, what the smart contract says, the code says, when we receive 0.5 ETH, the 0.5 ETH goes to the owner of this, and this NFT gets instantly transferred to the person who transferred this, all written in code, all peer-to-peer. So there is no middleman. The middleman is code. The middleman is the smart contract. Now, the special thing about smart contract is it's either this or that. There is no in between. So let's say I try to put 0.5 ETH into this. I buy now and I transfer 0.5 ETH, and the transaction fails for whatever reason. The funds get returned to me immediately, and nothing happens to this asset because the smart contract did not receive 0.5 ETH. And so it's a self-executing code that enables people to do business peer-to-peer. And the code, this is where it gets interesting. Like I said before, the code, the smart contract is put on the Ethereum blockchain, which is immutable, decentralized, and distributed. So anyone in the world can see that smart contract. So as an example, to show you what I actually mean by that, if you go down here, this is a website called OpenSea, which is for, a huge marketplace for NFTs. I can look at the contract address of this collection. If I click on this, it takes me to a website called Etherscan, which is where I can see every transaction that happens on the Ethereum blockchain. Now here, this is the Voxies smart contract. I can go and I can see here, there's been 7,684 transactions, and I can see everything here. And here, I can go to the contract of this project, right? Because it's an NFT and NFTs are stored on the Ethereum network, this is the smart contract of this project as an NFT. And I can see all the code here. It's public. Now, of course, I don't understand code, but actually I know that it's not actually that difficult to understand this language. You just have to learn. You would be able, I think it wouldn't have to take like a massive tech genius to understand that someone would be trying to scam you from a collection, or if the code was written in not a very solid way, that kind of stuff. So I don't understand any of this, of course, but I know that it's not impossible for someone to go in here and check and see, if something was off. So why is this special? Why is this a big deal? I'll tell you exactly why. Imagine elections, right? I'm 100% sure if we don't do this in the future, it's just so stupid because this is perfect for elections. We can hold elections using blockchain technology, because once you make your decision for who you want to elect, you can't change it, and no one has the power to change it. Not only that, people can publicly check and they can see every single transaction that happened. And it's anonymous, it's not tied to your identity. They could make it to your identity if they wanted to, but this changes everything. You see what I mean? Like all these institutions, all the problems that we have is that big governments and centralized authorities are doing things behind closed doors that we don't understand. For example, when I pay tax, I don't know where my money goes. So this changes things. Now, whilst we're here on Etherscan, I'm going to show you how you can look into someone's wallet and why it's not as scary as you think. So this is my crypto wallet here. As you can see, I'm absolutely balling. And here I'm gonna copy my public address, right? And as I said, this is my public address. Now, feel free to print screen this and copy this, because the only thing you can do with this is send me money. So feel free to try and scam me. You can only send me money here. So yeah. So if I have your Ethereum address and I click it and I copy and paste into Etherscan and I click enter, I can look inside your wallet and I can see every single transaction you have ever done within this wallet. Now, why this isn't scary is you can be anonymous if you want to. Look, this is my digital identity. It's just numbers and letters. You can remain anonymous. And these are all the transactions that I've done. And if you go on OpenSea, and I also copy my address here, you can see here I am, Babo Genji. This is I use this wallet as my gaming one. And, you know, here are the NFTs that I've bought in the past. And you can look inside someone's wallet and see what NFTs they hold as well. Now, again, why this is pretty amazing is, let's say, I don't know, let's say the government wants to kind of prove where they're putting their money, or like show where they're, you know, what they're spending your tax money on. This is how I'm thinking it right now anyway. Let's say there's an organization in London that provides opportunities for young kids, and there's an official Ethereum address tied to that organization, and you know the official Ethereum address of the government. You'll be able to tell every time they transfer funds from their address to the organization's address. So you'll be able to track everything, and you'll be able to see exactly where your money goes. You can track everything. So I personally think it's a beautiful thing, and you know, I think it could solve a lot of the problems that we have today. Okay, on to the main event, NFTs. This is what I want to talk about today. What is an NFT? NFT stands for non-fungible token. NFTs are digital assets like photos, audio, videos, etc. Literally anything that you can digitize? I think that's a word. Let's go with it. You can store on the blockchain and provide proof of ownership. Now, because I've explained the technology to you, you understand what's going on. Listen to what I'm saying. You can store a digital asset on the blockchain. Once it's on the blockchain, remember, no one has the power to edit or remove it. And so you can provide proof of ownership, and you can provide proof of authenticity. It's bigger than it is. Listen, once an NFT is minted on a blockchain, no one has the power to remove, change, or edit it. Okay, I'm getting excited now, but listen. Because of this, we can prove the authenticity of a digital file using blockchain technology and who the owner is. I just explained. Understand. So for the first time in internet history, I can put something, I can mint something on the blockchain, I can draw a picture, I can mint something on the blockchain, and I can prove that it is the one. I can prove that it is the one. It is equivalent to me painting something on a canvas and selling it to you. This is the one. I signed it. This is the one. Online, now we have the opportunity. Now we have the technology to prove that this is the Mona Lisa. Now, this is very interesting because how do we know the Mona Lisa is the real one? We can't actually prove that it's the real one. But with NFTs, with digital assets, we can prove that a digital file is the one using blockchain technology and using smart contracts. So for me to explain to you guys, how can you prove that one is the real one? I'll show you now. If we go back to Voxys, the collection I was explaining before, first of all, you can see that this is a verified collection, which means that, you know, I mean, the blue tick, it's the verified collection. OpenSea has verified this contract address, right? Now, Voxys is a limited collection. There are only 10,000 items. There are only 10,000 limited edition Voxys, which means that there's only ever going to be 10,000. No one has the power to create more because it's actually ingrained in the smart contract that there's only 10,000. You cannot add more. I don't believe you can add more to this collection, right? Now, you can verify if this asset is the one, is a part of the official collection with the contract address. So Voxys will put on Twitter, hey, this is the official contract address. And no one can copy this, no one can edit this, which means that any Voxy that is under this Ethereum contract is the official one, is part of the official collection. So you cannot fake a Voxy. You can, but it's easy to tell. Let me see if there's any fake Voxys that I can find. No, I can't find any unofficial fake Voxys. But for example, let's say I encounter a Voxy and there's no verified collection here. I would be like, red flag. Then I would check the contract address. It's not the same one. It's a fake. Anyone has done it, right? Now, yes, I understand NFTs and blockchain technology is far from perfect. There have been so many scams in this space. I know, it's unfortunate, but you have to be smart about it and you have to be extra careful. And there is a very easy way to tell if it's official. You just have to know about it. So, to explain a little bit more, an NFT stands for non-fungible token, and it is a digital item that is placed on the blockchain, and NFTs go to your crypto wallet. So here, in my wallet, in this wallet, I not only can store money, but I can store digital assets. It is tied to this Ethereum address. And remember, as we already know, once something is in your crypto wallet, no one has access to it. So all my NFTs in my crypto wallet with my MetaMask, which is my digital crypto wallet, I can sign in on OpenSea, which is an NFT marketplace, and I can view and interact with my NFTs. And nobody has access to these. Only I have access to these. Complete and full ownership of your digital assets. So now that I've explained a little bit about the technology and a few examples, I'm actually going to go a little bit deeper, and I'm going to show you an NFT, like examples of NFT collectibles, NFT gaming, and then I'm going to explain everything about like my dance NFTs. So let's get right to it. So here is a collection called Bored Ape Yacht Club. This is an NFT project that was created in April. And you might have seen this because it's kind of blowing up right now, and a lot of big celebrities are buying this, and it's kind of exploding, which is absolutely incredible to see, because I bought mine in May when the project we were just fooling around. So I've been in the NFT space since February, and I've been in the NFT community since February. And back then, I remember apparently there were less than 10,000 NFT collectors, like at that time when I was kind of fooling around in it and buying NFTs and like, you know, ingraining myself in the community. And on Twitter, I saw a lot of people post profile pictures of these apes. And I asked a friend of mine in the NFT space, and I said, what's up with the apes? Like, why is everyone putting profile pictures of these apes? And he was like, I don't know, man, it's just cool. We're building a community. It's a pretty cool community. It's like really cool. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll buy one. F it, right? So I bought mine for $1,200 at the end of May. Since then, the project has absolutely exploded. Today, the cheapest one, today on the 21st of November, the cheapest one is 46.99 Ethereum, which currently is $203,000. I know, it's insane. I'll explain why. So these are 10,000 limited edition, NFTs of apes, and they did a primary sale. So people bought the apes off of Bored Ape Yacht Club, the project. They bought them for like $100 to $200 each, like in the primary sale, buying directly from Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? And now the only way you can buy a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT is to buy from someone else. This is secondary market. And the cheapest that someone is willing to let it go is $200,000. Like, you're not going to get someone, it's going to be extremely rare to get someone tomorrow wanting to sell it for $20,000 because of the demand, supply demand, right? Now, you might be thinking, why the fuck? Like, why would someone want to pay $200,000 for a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT? I'll answer this question with a question. Why would someone, let's say Nike Jordans, let's say Nike Jordans release 100 editions of these rare Jordan limited edition shoes. Now, chances are those shoes are going to go for thousands. And chances are maybe sometime in the future, those Jordans will go for a lot of money. Now, the reason someone is willing to pay a lot for a shoe, which, by the way, a shoe costs pennies to make, right? It costs a couple dollars, like the material is not that expensive, is because of supply and demand. You have a product and brand that is worldly recognized and a lot of people want, and you have a huge demand for it. And there's also a status flex to it. In the shoe community, there's a community of maybe Jordan collectors, people who really love collecting shoes, which is a lot of people. It's cool to them in our society to flex this purchase. And it's exactly the same here. And in the NFT space, because of, let's say, look, because the cheapest one is $200,000, and because these came out in April, anyone who has anyone who has an ape is either an early NFT adopter, which means a lot in the NFT space, like you're an OG, or someone that has a lot of money. And of course, in this world, in this society, you know, people, you know, it's a status flex. It's a power thing. So these apes mean something in this space, in this industry that we are building. It's also owning a part of NFT history, because when these apes came out, there wasn't a lot happening in the NFT space, and owning one is like owning a part of NFT history. So that was a little example about an NFT collection. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is NFT gaming. So I am a huge gamer. I've been a huge gamer all my life. Now, this is going to be very interesting. Everyone I've told about this game has been absolutely mind blown. So I'm going to tell you about Axie Infinity, and the world is gonna know about Axie Infinity. Like, this game is gonna be bigger than Pokemon. Remember this video, I'm so sure about it. So currently, this game is putting food on people's table. People are playing this game and earning cryptocurrency, and they're making enough to feed their families. I am telling you, I myself started playing this game in March, and it got me through a really, really hard time in my life. I was able to earn like £200 to £500 a month, which is around $300 to $600 a month, and it helped me pay rent this year, which I really struggled with due to the pandemic. And I'm going to explain how this game works. So these are called Axies, right? And you need 3 Axies to play the game. And these Axies are NFTs, digital items stored on the blockchain. You know about the technology now. These are NFTs, and you need 3 to play the game. When you play the game, you get paid in a cryptocurrency called SLP, Smooth Love Potions. But the game doesn't pay you. You mine the Smooth Love Potions, SLP. You acquire the SLP yourself through the blockchain, through playing the game. And you sell these Smooth Love Potions to other players, and they use these Smooth Love Potions, wait for it, to breed new Axies. Then those players that bred new Axies sell those Axies to other players. So you don't actually ever buy anything from the company Axie Infinity, which is Sky Mavis. You don't buy anything from them. You buy and sell from players. So I buy an Axie from another player who has bred it, and I sell this to another player in the ecosystem who wants to buy it. So you might be thinking, how the hell do Axie Infinity make money then? Well, this is where it gets interesting. Every time someone sells an Axie, they keep 4.25%. I believe it's 4.25%, something like that. They keep let's say 4%. They keep 4% of every transaction. And if we look at here, which is the Axie Infinity marketplace, every day, well, in the last 24 hours, they banked $23 million in volume. So they made 4% of that. You can make some quick maths. In the last month, they made the marketplace, the transaction, the volume, the total volume was $703 million. They made 4% of that. That's a lot of money. But the crazy thing is, the players themselves are making money, and the company are making a ton of money too. So it's creating an ecosystem where the players win, and as a result, the company wins too. So it's more of a partnership. You're like a part of the game. I own a part of the game. Now this is where it gets very interesting. So each Axie, it costs a bit of money, right? If I'm earning, like, right now, you could probably earn around $500, $600 a month playing this game, around 2 to 3 hours a day, 1 to 3 hours a day, depending on what level you are. The higher level you are, the less you have to play. I won't get into that. Now, it costs some money. Let's say each Axie costs maybe like $150 minimum. Like, the cheapest Axie is $150 and you need 3 to play. So that's $450. But what I'm going to say is, let's say a good team of Axie costs $1,000. Let's go with $1,000, right? Now, $1,000, you might think, bloody hell, like, that's a lot of money. Why would I buy these cute little digital pets for $1,000, right? Well, if I'm earning $500 a month, then your return of investment is 2 months. And then after that, it's all profit, right? You're playing a game that is actually very good, by the way. It's like Pokemon with cards. Like, each Axie has cards and abilities, and I won't get into that. But it's a very good game. I like it, right? So your return of investment is 2 months, and then it's smooth sailing after. You are earning money playing a good game. Now, the funny thing is, when you buy an Axie, you own it, which means at any given time, you can resell it to another player. Now, let's say it costs $1,000 to buy a good team. Now, $1,000 is a lot of money for even myself living in a rich country such as England. $1,000 is a lot of money for anyone in the world. But 80% of the player base of this game is from the Philippines. This game is exploding in the Philippines. Now, someone created a system called scholarships where I buy a team and I rent my team out to another player. They play for me using my assets. They keep 60% of their earnings and I keep 40% of their earnings. Now, this is a win-win scenario because I myself have many scholars. I have invested a lot of money into buying Axie teams and loaning them to players mostly in Philippines and Brazil. And they get to play a game for free with no entry cost and earn more than the minimum wage in their country every month. And I pay them every 2 weeks. That's Axie Infinity. And now we're seeing a lot of other games use blockchain technology, so you get to own your asset. So imagine in World of Warcraft, you find a sword, but that sword is an NFT. If it's an NFT and you have it, it's yours. It's in your crypto wallet. You can resell it to another player for cryptocurrency, however much you want. It's yours. Now, this is something worth mentioning that is extremely why I love Web3. There are different blockchains, but a lot of the biggest NFTs are on the Ethereum blockchain. When an NFT is on the Ethereum blockchain, it means that you can interact with that NFT in any marketplace that is connected to the Ethereum blockchain. The crazy thing about this is that Bored Ape Yacht Club is on the Ethereum blockchain, right? Blockchain Ethereum. And then you can go to Voxy's and it's also on the Ethereum blockchain. It's on the same platform. It's on the same system, even though they're completely different assets. Now, why this is interesting is because you might have heard of the term metaverse. That's what it means. You can have, as long as an asset is on the Ethereum network, you can interact with it within a digital universe. You can have different Ethereum assets in the same space, if that makes sense, which is I find to be amazing. The best example I can give is you've seen Bored Ape Yacht Club there. Now, if I type in Dylan Mayra on here as well, then this is the amazing thing. I can see all my dance NFTs because OpenSea is connected to the Ethereum network, and my dance NFTs are on the Ethereum network. It's really, really incredible. And these are all my dance NFTs. And now I'm going to tell you about my dance NFTs. So welcome to my Foundation page. So Foundation is a platform where you can sell your NFTs, and it's an invite-only platform, and it's a live auction NFT marketplace. So understand what I've done here is I have put a dance video, minted it as an NFT, making it a piece of digital art. For the first time in history, we are able to sell a dance video the same way as painting something on a canvas and selling it to someone. Like, we're able to take ownership of our art form in a way that has never been done before. And so people are willing to pay thousands of dollars to, buy a dance video of myself and own it as a piece of art. It's pretty amazing. I make a dance video, I mint it as a dance NFT, and maybe someone wants to buy it, maybe not. But this is where it gets tricky. So I need to own all the rights to, this is where it gets actually interesting. I need to own all the rights to the video that I want to sell, which means that I have to own the rights to the music or have permission from the artist. So what I've been doing is I've been collaborating with incredible musicians, and I also give them a split of the sale. This changes the game because now dancers have an opportunity to take ownership of their art and get a cut they deserve. In my opinion, I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact that one day street dancers are gonna become millionaires the same way as boxers and footballers and basketball players. I know this for a fact. I just didn't know how we were gonna get there. But now I think this is going to be one of the ways that we're going to get there. And not to say that we need to get there. I've never chased money. I've never thought, okay, like how can I make a lot of money with dance? In my mind, it's always been like, how can I stay true to the art and culture, but also monetize it well in a way that doesn't sacrifice the art and culture. That's just me. But this is a game changer for sure. This is the last one that I sold for, and it sold last week for $9,500, which is absolutely insane. It's unreal. I know, it's unreal. It sold for $9,500. Now you might think, why would someone want to buy this? Like, why would someone want to buy a dance video? My friend. So understand that we are pioneering the culture of collecting digital art. The same way we've been collecting art for thousands of years. This is no different, but this time it's digital. Now, why this is bigger than buying physical art with like the Mona Lisa, like why this is bigger than buying physical art is because when you buy your digital art, the who you can show it off to extends way more to buying physical art. In real life, the people who you can market to your digital art, the people who you can market your art to is maybe you can create a gallery and people can come to your gallery in physical space and view your art. I know that's something that is beautiful, but with digital art, your audience is the internet. Your audience is the metaverse, Web3, which is why it's insane. Now, I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. In the future, we are going to be able to own virtual land that is stored on the blockchain, and you can prove that you own this piece of digital land or a digital gallery. Now, I own land in Axie Infinity. I own land in another game as well. So I own digital land already, and I think it's an amazing concept. So I'm going to show you right now my friend's digital gallery, and you're going to see what I mean. So here is an application, and I can walk around and I can see all of these artworks he owns. And I'm going to show you how I know that. Right? I can press E and I can see the owner, Jabulon, which is my friend in the space, and I can see who minted it. And I can see view on OpenSea because it's on the Ethereum network. And I can come down and I can see exactly, he minted this. Okay. So he minted this. And I can see, so Jabulon minted this, which is the process of acquiring this. And then Vincent Van Gogh offered 120 ETH, which is a hell of a lot of money. And he did not accept it. So if we go back, we can see look, there's some apes. We can see everything that Jabulon owns. I've seen that art piece before. That's really cool. I like this one here. I've seen this one before. So again, this one's on Foundation. So also on the Ethereum network, but he bought this on Foundation, and you can view on here. And you can see how much he bought it for. He bought it for $29,000, and it's owned by Jabulon. There you go. And so in the future, like, dance is extremely undervalued and underappreciated. People don't understand that what we do is an insane art form and it's an insane sport. People don't understand this. But in the future, we're going to have art galleries of, dance collectors. So that's kind of the tip of the iceberg. If you've listened this far, thank you. I hope you enjoyed. And it was an overwhelming amount of information that I gave you. Do not worry. I've been doing this for 11 months. So like 24/7. So I've done a lot of research into this, and understand that it's a lot easier to understand this technology and interact with it when you're actually a part of it and working everything out. I am going to do another video very soon explaining how you actually get into the space and my advice for the best way to sell your dance NFTs, because I know a lot of artists watching this will be interested to start themselves. I will get to that. I just want you to understand first. I want you to understand that this is a community, this is a culture, this is a revolution, this is a paradigm shift, this is something more than just trying to make a quick buck. And that's why I've taken so long to explain to you guys how much money I've been making, how much money my NFTs have sold for, because I didn't want to be like, I'm making like this much money and people just think about the money. It's so much more than that. It's a culture and community that I love, and it's just so much more. Of course, to get paid for your art that you have worked so hard for is everything. Before I go, I would just ask, if you have any questions, pop them in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to either answer them in the comment section or include them in my next video. I understand that a lot of people are going to have questions to me. Do your own research first. Like, no one taught me anything. I'm the kind of person that when I want to learn something, I go out and I try figure it out by myself first before asking for help. I like to do things by myself, but I'm never afraid to ask for help, but I'll only ask if I've really like tried my hardest to find out myself. So please do that first, and then yeah, much love guys, see ya.